everyone, and you're welcome to another exciting episode of Grey and Angles. I am your homegirl, Aderinsola Remidomi. Okay, I just lost you right there, right?
You still got me.
Anyway, okay, so you're welcome to my podcast. This is Grey and Angles. Like I said, I am excited to have my girls in the building. I was excited. Sometimes I ask myself, where did I find the people that I roll with? Because the kind of energy some people bring, my kind of people, just says a lot about me, right?
Is it?
But I like it. I love you guys, girls like that. So this is Imade, and that is Tope. And oh, sorry, it says Temitope. It's the same way I call my Aderinsola, right? You got to take me home. So that's Temitope, and this is Imade, and both of them are guests today on my episode. And I think that I'll be bringing. So some of my guests, when I'm done, I'm like, you got to come back, So before recording, so many things have been said, and I'm like, I got to bring them back because I like to have exciting, insightful conversations with people. So today we have a very interesting topic. And it is, I'm going to be asking you girls a question, right?
Okay.
And I want your honest, sincere opinion. Both of you are married. I'm not. I desire to. If I do, fine. If not, that's all good. But over the years, I've pondered and wondered what it means to be a successful marriage. Now, you go, for instance, on social media, or you go to your friend's house and you see their 75-year-old dad and their 72-year-old mom. Oh, they become daddy and mommy, grandpa and grandma, and it's pretty much, everybody's conscious and everything. Sometimes you see them do some little tap there and you be like, oh, so cute. But then as we, grow, or as we are growing, you begin to realize that some of those things are, I'd say, like a front for what really is happening behind closed doors. You hear some of those mommies or daddies talk about their real situations, some of them from a place of regret, even though they have stayed in their marriages. Like you see people that have been married for 40 years, and if you're an insider, that this woman has just endured, or this man has just endured all through. However, they've made it to year 40. So my question is, would we say that someone who's endured and has stayed till daddy passes or mommy passes had a successful marriage in spite of the endurance? Sister and brother endurance, just going to their 90-something and they're like, peace out. It was nice doing life with you, however, never again. Or we would say that, the quality of that marriage, even if it's for 5 years, and the moment it begins to degenerate, or the point of diminishing returns, everybody's like, peace and love, I can't do this anymore, everybody have a nice day. I'm not trying to come from a go get a divorce standpoint, but I'm just really asking, what is that thing that would make you look back and say, indeed, this was a successful venture for me? Who's gonna go first? Dun.
Okay.
Again.
Okay, so for me, I would say the reason why I would qualify a marriage as being successful is not just about the length.
Okay.
I'd rather go for the quality. Okay, for a lot of our grandparents, great-grandparents that were in there for so many years, despite all the ups and downs, sometimes the downs are actually so much more, like
yeah.
Even me right now, I don't think I can actually condone some of those things. But for them, it was a do or die affair.
As should be.
Who wants to go back to their parents to say, oh, my marriage failed? It's unheard of, it's abomination. Do you get it? Like, even when you go back home to tell your mother, oh, my husband did this, they'll tell you, you have to endure. Endurance was a thing of, it's endurance or nothing else.
So marriage equals endurance,
Yes, I believe, they believe, not me.
Bro,
corrected quick.
They believe that it was a do or die affair. Even if you come back home with bruises, swollen eyes, this, that, they tell you, oh,
make it work.
Instead of them telling you, oh, what happened? They tell you, oh, what did you do?
What did you do?
Which simply means there was nothing that could have happened. It was what you did that warranted the punches
that you deserved it.
Well, they might not exactly tell you deserved it, but indirectly they tell
You
you
caused
deserve it
it.
because the first thing is, what did you do? Nobody actually asked, oh, what happened?
Right. Right.
So it was a do or die affair. So it was a case of, you know what, let me just be managing my thing like that. They tell
And
you,
just
oh,
make it to the
he's
end.
worse off somewhere else. They tell you, oh, the grass is never greener on the other side. So they tell you, oh, you know what, it's worse off somewhere else. You know what, if you go there, do you know what will happen the next place you go to? And those that were actually brave enough.
She's getting spiritual.
Those that were actually brave enough to leave. By the time they get to the next marriage, even if it is worse off, they can't come out because now it's like you are the problem. Do you get it?
Oh, you ran from that one.
Now you're running
from this
again.
I'm not realizing that, yes, sometimes we might be unlucky. Now, I'm not trying to blame the men or do you get what I'm saying?
Right.
But it's a case of that was the reason why a lot of our parents and a lot of people tell you, oh, you know what? If you live there, are you going to leave your children?
That children factor.
Because in those days, the men owned the children. Are you going to leave the children? Oh, I can't leave my children. So, you know what? Let me just keep enduring. By the time the children are older, the man is even more like an additional baby.
A baby now.
You have to be the one caring for. You have to be the one caring for the man. All the strength, all the
It's gone.
agility
is gone. Flew right out of the window. Do you get
now? You have to feel sorry for him and care for him. You can't walk out at that point.
You're gonna be a witch.
Bro. Like, so it feels
because you're gonna be a witch because they're gonna be like, are you gonna leave him at his lowest? No.
So, but so there's something though. Okay, so I wanna take it back.
Okay.
You asked a question about like length. I think there's something beautiful about length.
Okay.
That we can't we can't disregard. Because there's bad I see bad. There's nobody that has lived with somebody 40, 50 years that has not built a life with that person.
Very true.
No matter how
it doesn't matter how crazy it gets, you've built a life around that person. That's why you see sometimes it gets so long and people are just like, it's like you're intertwined, right?
Like, and so daddy does not know.
Mommy doesn't know what to eat. Mommy doesn't know what to do with the light. Daddy doesn't know what to eat.
Yeah,
like, there becomes an interdependence on stuff. And so there's something with Lent. There's something beautiful about Lent. But Lent now becomes more commendable when there's quality attached to it. And so we can't throw Lent away as all these old people stayed together because there was no other option, right?
No, yeah.
Because even then, sometimes you will see them, they'll be like, I can't leave him alone. And you just like, he's like, what do you mean? You can't, I mean, if people have talked about their parents, it's like their mom and their daddy are just like, even in the madness, they're like, she can't leave him alone. He can't leave her alone. And it's like, but there's also attachments. Yes, there's also negative reasons for people attaching together.
What's this thing they call it? Stockholm's syndrome, like your abuser.
Yes, you're stuck to your person. So there's also that. However, I think that there's some beauty in length, right? Now, adding quality to it now gives you like a well-rounded definition of a successful marriage.
Because I'll give you, thank you for that, because if you open like this day and age that photo shoot is everything, you see some well-grade woman and well-grade man. Beautiful. You're like, goals. God, when? No, you just want to tap into it because that looks like, hey, but we don't know their story.
Yes.
So now,
exactly.
I'd come back to some popular, kind of viewpoint or whatever, or a case study. I'll give you Davido and Chioma. Hold on,
we're discussing regular marriage. Okay,
regular and irregular. So I'm using them because they are quite popular, but their case is not unpopular. What I mean by that is a man who obviously is making deposits here and there, making deposits but he said that in spite of all my philandering or whatever it is, this is the person I am saying to the world that I have, quote and unquote, chosen to be my life partner. Now, they haven't gone too far, so I'm not trying to say that there's length in this thing, but hypothetically speaking, in the next 60 years, 40, 50 years, both of them make it to that we still stay as Mr. and Mrs. Adeleke, right?
Right.
Okay.
And what I mean, why I'm using them as case study, because I'm not trying to describe any other person's scenario. This one, anybody watching should be able to relate. Just Google David and Chioma,
right.
you know. And we know so many daddies that have been like that. You get, and then the woman just knows that, well, he all over the place, but he man, right? So she's like, as long as I am that Mrs., then that's okay. As long as I'm the one that is being recognized when we go, like, you know, I'm the one he's showing off. Some people are okay with it. So hypothetically speaking, and well, for their sake, David and Chioma in the next 50 years are still, you know, lovey-dovey outside and everything. For someone else, it's like, what a marriage. But for she might be like, okay, I mean, because that's the vibe we get right now. Like, in spite of everything, she might be like walking away once or twice, but it feels like she's like, oh, well,
okay.
The love, the sweet spot, like you said, that's friendship or partnership. For some people, it swells past whatever bad sides that they might be having. Like, daddy and mommy are glued together, they're stuck together. Not them. I don't want to speak too much.
You're good.
They are the ones who know, not them sabi.
Yes.
They're the ones that know what's in between them. I don't know what's in between you and your husband. I don't know what's in between you and your husband.
Exactly.
I don't know what's in between me and my future husband, because I don't know yet.
Right.
Okay, so can I say something? You know, when you mentioned Chioma and Davido, and the first thing Imade said was, "Oh, I thought we were talking about."
Imade, that now sounds like Imade and Davido.
That's their daughter's name. That is their daughter's name.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it sounds like, oh, when Imade said, "Oh, I thought you were talking about normal marriages." Okay, so
The marriage of Noah.
I tell people that the two most abused words, in fact, don't let me say two, the most abused word
Love.
is the word love. Like, now it's not like 1,000 a penny.
Feeling. Yep. It's fleeting.
Because if you say you have chosen somebody to be your life partner, what is partnership? To start with.
I mean, you're working towards something together.
Okay, you're working towards something together. And if we're looking at partnership in business, before any decision is being made, everyone has to be in the know, right? So if you say you're looking at somebody being your life partner, and you just feel you can jump from every, I don't want to say Tom, because now we're talking about women. You're jumping from Titi to Tokwe to Yemi to Kemi.
I want only Yoruba girls jump to
Alima
Chinagorom.
to Chinagorom. So you get what I'm trying to say?
And Zainab.
So is it? Are you telling me it's and Zainab and Aisha? Are you telling me it's with the consent of the other partner? Hold on. Are you telling me it's with the other consent of
no, that one is a big. That one is a big deal because it's like all over the place to an extent.
And I feel like that's why I don't know why you use that as a case study.
Why?
Because I feel like that is the weirdest known marriage.
I know why she used that as a case study.
I use that as a case study because that's the one that we all know and see. But if we want to start breaking it down, it's, well, I'd say 90% or 80% of people that have that kind of scenario, just that they're not popular.
No, that's not true. I disagree.
I disagree.
Wait.
In the environment where we are in now, it's quite popular. So many baby mamas, so many baby fathers, and there's no marriage.
And sorry to take you back. I'm sorry to cut you short. This is a topic on its own, and I would say this. To a very large extent, we kind of feel like it's now popular, like it's now normal for ladies to say, I'm a baby mama. But I dare say that so many of us, well, I don't have, but so many of us have step siblings.
Okay, so that's...
back in the 80s and 70s that came from where?
Now, so here is the thing. Now, you're going to...
set down. Yeah. But let's, I think we're digressing. And I say that.
There's something you said, though, regarding like Davido and Chioma. That when they grow to like 40 years old and people look at their pictures,
like in 40
and
years
they did it in 40 years time, people look at the pictures and they didn't know their story, they would be like, wow, that's a beautiful couple because they're celebrating 60 years anniversary. 60 years anniversary. Woo-woo. Now, the question now becomes, what is marriage? I define it, marriage is kingdom business for me. As a Christian, marriage is a mission. Marriage is a ministry. However, when we come in the secular world, marriage means different things to different people.
Definitely.
So, remember we were talking about earlier, and I said the woman marries the man. The woman chooses who she marries.
Okay.
The woman decides what she wants her marriage to look like.
Okay.
It's not even, when they said it back then, I think they made it seem like we were they put the whole burden on us. However, when men ask you, do you want to marry me? And you say, yes, you are agreeing to the man. You are deciding that this is who are. Men don't marry women. Women marry men.
Like they decide that I'm a trust
you. Decide.
I agree with
wait,
you.
now, you have decided. Now, Chioma has decided.
And she likes it.
That Davido is her man and she gonna stick beside him.
And she likes it.
That's her marriage. Is that my definition of marriage? No. Is that your definition of marriage? Probably not. I don't speak for anybody. I don't speak for everybody. But what I'm trying to say is, she's decided
what works for her.
Now, before I see a marriage and say, "Aww,"
you want to know what is inside.
I want to sit down and understand exactly. I want to know what's in the party pack.
Before you take
I want
to
know what's really going on in there before I say they look good together. Really though?
Well, they might look
they
good together.
Look good together. Doesn't mean they're good.
And
doesn't mean
especially when they have gray hair. See,
the gray. I started graying a little bit. So
should I take off the wig and show you? So what I'm particular about is, I'm not talking about, I mean, I made David and Chioma my example simply because we can see what ordinary, or like you said, normal people will be like, bro, girl, walk away. This disrespect is enough. But then if she's, like you said, in those days, especially in the older days, we grew up seeing our grandparents, our parents stick it out and get to that point where we're like, well, grandma is in the house with grandpa and that's all we know. Now we know some things, maybe because they feel comfortable telling us the rot that was in some of those places. You know, you hear some family friends or people tell you, no agree, no agree for anybody.
Right.
You know,
for the year.
They kind of tell you like, don't allow him disrespect you this way and that. Chioma will probably, have a girl and say to the girl, bro, if a guy begins to move this way, but is she sticking it out? Yes. If she gets to that 40 years time, did she stick it out? Yes. For someone else, it's the guy is verbal abuse. For someone else, financial abuse. For someone else, the philandering is big because you just feel, because of course we magnify that a lot. It means different things to different people. But maybe someone's grandma felt like, okay, daddy has wife in Ilorin, and then he also has one other woman in Ibadan and one in the east, because it's a contractor that used to go up and down.
Right.
So
because there are a lot of them like that.
He has made deposits there. However, well, he comes home. We have so many of that because I know a lot of, that's my sister. So what I'm trying to say is, yes, social media makes it look like, all right, fine, go. But then it existed too, and everybody just know what they know. It's when the man dies that you now see all of them come together and come and pour sand.
Right.
Like, oh, that's my sisters, and then we all just moved on. Like, well, it is what it is.
Right.
And because daddy was daddy then, like daddy has done what he has done. It's not your business. It's now that you have children facing their fathers. I don't like how you treat my mom. And like you said, social media, people carry camera and they are insulting their fathers, just because. I'm not saying, well, that's their business. Every family dynamic is different. So my question is, if I can stick out my own financial abuse, like my man has money, but I'm the one who's paying all the school fees, paying all the bills because he chooses to maybe use money for designers and whatever. That's the mess in our marriage. And I'm like, see you in 50 years time, I'm still missing somebody. You get? And you are like, financial gain, peace out. And then someone else is like, he's sleeping around. Well, I can stick that out as long as he's dropping money at home. That's our mess. So I'm trying to say that there are some marriages that are more beautiful than others, but there's obviously people's mess. It's when we know it that we'll now say, hey, Kiri, what is this? Like, but let's not lie, everyone has one or two things that even in friendships that we're all sticking out.
Right.
Some are bigger, some are outrightly disrespectful. Maybe because David is even loud in public, in front of everybody. It's almost like But what I've chosen to stick out, what you've chosen to, is different. You get. So my own is still, we're all sticking out something. So do you get to that final point, which is that gray mommy, gray daddy, and say, oops, I made it. I stayed Mrs. X. I stayed as Mrs. X. All those things could not shake me, whether it's the women outside or the money troubles or the friends or the family, they could not shake that thing. Like, we built it and we made it through. The Jija, everything happened. Like, whirlwind blew. Thank you. Huff puff. What's that? Okay, la la. Okay, that's he came.
The whirlwind will not blow.
Thank you. But we're still here as Mr. and Mrs. Tope. In 2090 something, you still made it. Is that enough?
Okay, so for me, like Imade said earlier on, our definition of marriage is different. What we want from marriage is different. I'm not saying I have a perfect marriage. No.
You do, baby.
I don't.
Your boo is a gem.
I don't. Yeah. So for me, I look at it like, okay, so I try to look at the good, the highs and the lows. The eyes, trying to look at the good side and the lows, the bad side. Is it perfect? No. Which one outweighs the other? Is it the bad or the good? The bad, is it something that can be corrected? Is it something that
you can live with?
You can not live with. I'm not going to live with nonsense.
So said nonsense.
You said
what you said, baby. You said I'm not going to live with nonsense.
It's a case of, you know what? This and that. Can we work this house? Can he? I'm not expecting 100% perfection. No.
Because nobody's even perfect. Even you are giving your own downside sometimes.
Exactly.
Right.
Like sometimes if
your brain just
one in my father's house, he climbed me.
You move mad. I'm gonna move mad too.
I'm not moving mad.
I'm moving in Jesus' name.
So it's a case of which one outweighs the other?
Right.
Like, I'm not trying to compare myself with
But which one outweighs each other for you or for society?
I don't care about society. Society doesn't.
So for you,
because for me, that's why I said That's why I said
every malam with his kettle.
That's
every aboki
with his
gate.
No, the aboki is not plenty people in the gate. But if person kettle, then you go to do your.
No. It's usually one aboki assigned.
Assigned.
But he has extra. Plus, that's like girlfriend.
Like some marriages.
That's the guy.
So for me, it's because I feel like there are women that are unfaithful.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
It's not one-way traffic. We should have got a man to this episode.
I was going to say that we need a second episode with a man.
Be ready to meet me in front because I will move madder than you.
Oshe?
See.
But moving mad, it takes a lot of work. Can you move mad?
It takes a lot of effort.
Listen, let me tell you something.
If it doesn't come naturally to you, for someone else it's natural to move mad. If you try to move like that.
That's what I'm saying, that for people that think in that line of direction, it is easy peasy, like to say. Because look, if you think that a man could be unfaithful, a woman can be worse. And you know the funny part? If you look at trends of men and women that were unfaithful, it's easy for the man to make noise when he's unfaithful. The woman.
What do you mean by making
noise? I hear no. Like,
you know,
they know how to hide it.
Oh, okay.
But
it's either they underdo the hiding, or they overdo it. You know there's something wrong.
Right.
But a woman will come naturally.
You will not even suspect nada.
Nothing.
Bro.
Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So for me, I feel like that is what this men should think of. That, you know what? I want to cheat. My woman too can be.
It can be a cheater.
A cheater,
baby.
So do you get what I'm trying to say? So for me, I just feel like if you want to be foolish, because that's what I look at people like Davido. There are so many women out there, men out there, with all sorts of diseases and ailments that are sexually transmitted. It is not written on the forehead.
It's not?
It is not. Just in case you didn't know. Like, I feel like, why would you, if you decide that you want to put your own life at risk, why do you want to carry somebody's breadwinner in their own family along with you?
Exactly.
Well, okay, so
now,
Like,
is it no? But
it's
is it
with all this donation of children here and there.
It's the Lord's command. It says, be fruitful and multiply.
The problem. This is
multiplying.
Wait, this is my problem.
Being fruitful and multiplying with. You don't know who the person who is being fruitful and multiplying.
We're all obeying instructions, bro.
Wait, but this is my problem, though. This is my problem. We have, by what you said, put the buck on the man to do the right. Wait, let me finish.
Okay. To do right,
and not put responsibility on the woman to do right by herself.
No, don't get me
wrong.
Wait,
no, because you just said something about Davido doing that and not thinking about somebody else.
Okay,
no,
sorry.
She doesn't have mind to think about.
So
herself.
okay. Let me step in here. I think for the bulk of the time we have gone towards men being the ones messing up.
Right.
What I'm saying is, let's flip this. Let's talk about a woman that insults her husband
and beats him,
or
because there are women that they talked about it. Women have beaten their husband.
You didn't know that?
You still beat that on my head. No. But let's women that are verbally abusing their husband.
Like I said, there's also financial abuse. Like for instance, your guy has money or something. There was this video I saw on social media. I don't know if it was a skit or whatever. People just create all sorts these days. And the lady was saying, the guy said he owned an electronics shop or a phone shop or something, and he was saying, "Oh, I bought your iPhone 15. What's the latest one? I don't know.
I don't know.
So I think he bought her 14 or something. And then she was, or maybe 13 or something, and she was saying, is this what it is? That's the other one I want. But you sell it.
What does she do for a living?
Like, I don't know.
Talk like that. They don't have work.
So my thinking then was, if this is not a skit, which even if it was a skit, is a reflection of some real life situation.
Yes.
My point is, there are people who they're not even thinking about, like, this guy is carrying all the weight on his shoulder. Yes, man should provide. Okay. Yes, that's the. And then they're not even trying to say, you got money, we die there. And not just die there, you abuse it to the point where he takes all his profit from business, uses it to fund that lifestyle that that he cannot afford, or you think that he can afford. And like, he's thinking, okay, I've made $5 in this business. Let me put it back so that we can make $50. But you're thinking, we've made $5. Hooray, let's spend $4.
Let's spend $4.50.
Let's spend $6. You take $1 loan. No.
So there are people like that, and some men live lives of abuse. You see some people that you see them down the line, and you be like, I used to know this uncle,
and his wife,
that the wife is the one that helped him to die. So we have abuse.
His wife rubbished him.
First and foremost, for me, I hope I'm not taking the show. Like, it looks like I'm not like.
Take the show now. I'll just move to your house. It's okay.
Like, I feel like good. Before. Now I'm talking about man or woman.
Mm-hmm.
Before you even think of settling down with somebody, you need to know your worth.
Right. When
I say your worth, I'm not talking about the financial aspect.
Your assets.
Right. You need to know
who you are.
Exactly. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Yes, I do agree that there's so many women out there that actually abuse their men. Like, the minute he doesn't have what he used to have materially,
they're gonna talk him down.
There's a big problem.
Right.
Like, I'm not going to let anybody talk me down, whether I'm a man or a woman. But thank God I'm a woman. I'm not going to allow nobody to talk me down.
Right.
Once you start letting people talk you down, it actually makes you. It diminishes you.
And
after a while, you feel like you're worthless. Like, when they now tell you you're worthless, you feel like, yes, I'm worthless.
Real. So the thing about that. Sorry, Imade, I'll let you go. But the thing about that is, you are assuming that everybody has their head screwed on like you. And what I mean by that is, you might have been able to build self-confidence and this and that. Let's not assume that we are all operating at that level.
Right.
Some people need to be in that place. That's why you see that fundamental question of what is a successful marriage. For you, you are like, is the length of the marriage so important to me that I would give anything to get to 2055 with that man? For someone else, if this person is abusing you and your self-worth is being stripped off and everything, and you come from a place of self-love, at some point you'll be like, you know what? If we can't fix this, have a nice day.
Have a nice
We are finished.
Have a nice life. Like they always say, have a nice life. You know? So I think that for you, you might be able to make that decision. But for someone else, if I'm not Mrs. Somebody, I am nothing.
Okay, so that's what
Now,
let's
wait. So I feel like that piece of it goes back to the fundamental of marriage. See, the problem that we're having is we're having next level, we're having lower level generations of people do wrong things because the foundation of human being is the home. The foundation of us, the word that makes me go out there and speak and say, no, I'm not going to let anything happen to me, is because of the home that I'm coming from.
Right.
Now, what we're doing now, what people are doing these days is creating the next home. Whatever you're doing right now as a person in your home, you are creating the next home.
Because your child is going to carry all these things.
Your child is going to carry that. My kids, like they're going to now see what they need to do or what not. And so what I define as a successful marriage is, what do my children see? When my children look at us, husband and wife, what do they see?
For real.
Do they see happy? Because they can see they're not blind.
You can't hide that one.
You can hide them from your children.
You can't hide that one.
What do they see? There's this lady on Instagram. She has questions for asking what to ask your children, and she said something about she and her husband, they used to have arguments a lot, and but they're better. And so she asked her children, so when you look at Daddy and I, do you think we're happy? And she said, when you want something to happen, when you want to be humbled, ask children questions, because they will humble you.
They will give
They will tell you. They will literally lay it down for you.
That's those best.
They will literally lay it down for you, right? And so now I sit back, I listen to that. I say, okay, that's the question. I'm going to sit down and ask my 11-year-old.
With your heart in your mouth.
Okay, so
what do you see when you?
I'm going to talk about,
because that's what's going to define our next level, right?
It's just two people trying to make it work.
Right.
Nobody is perfect.
Kingdom principles can be found in the world.
What do you call the finish line?
Not getting a divorce.
Not getting a divorce.
Not getting a divorce. So walking away from it.
So I cherish my mental health a lot.
Bro.
Honestly, no. Honestly, I cherish my mental health a lot, because if my mental health is messed up, what is remaining?
Did you enjoy watching that episode? I am sure that you did. Do not forget to subscribe by clicking on the button below. And of course, share on your various social media pages. Share with everyone, because everybody needs to know about Gray and Angles.